Hey guys, so here is the Uniden LRD950 radar detector. It's one of Uniden's new radar detectors that they have recently released. They've actually released 3 different radar detectors. They've released the LRD450, looks like this, the LRD750, which looks like this, and then the LRD950, which is their top of the line model. This is the one that has the most features, the most capabilities, also of course the most expensive one, so this is going to be their top of the line pick. Retails for $400, but you can find it online for closer to $200. And at that price point, it actually becomes a really interesting proposition. I've been testing 2 of these for the past couple months, and its performance is actually surprisingly good. It can hold its own compared to some of the other high-end popular radar detectors on the market, which is really interesting. And that's kind of what's got my attention here with this unit. If you want to see some of the test results performance-wise, you can take a look at the links in the video description, click on those, and you'll get a feel for how this detector compares performance-wise to some of the other popular options out there on the market. Now, for this video, I'm not going to be doing a full comprehensive review of the detector. I am going to do that video eventually, but that's not what this video is for. This one is going to be kind of a general overview of the basic features, functionalities, and options that are available on this detector. So we're going to go over the buttons, we're going to go over the features within the menu, we're going to go over what ports it has available, just so that you guys get familiar with the detector and what all it has to offer. So basically what we're looking at here, we've got a radar detector with very capable radar detector performance. Also has a GPS chip built in to give you things like red light camera, speed camera alerts. It also does have a basic implementation of GPS lockouts, just like you'll get with some of the Escort, Beltronics products. The V1, when paired with YAVI1, gives you a similar feature. With this one, it's going to be manual. You just press a button right there on the screen, and it can learn and automatically from then on ignore false alerts when you pass them over and over. The implementation of some of the features here are not as sophisticated as some of the higher end, more refined products, but at the price point, that's where it gets really interesting. So again, let's go over kind of some of the features and options that it has available. That way you guys have a good idea of what this detector has to offer. So looking at the case, you can see we've got a black case right there. We've got kind of this silver sort of reflective thing on top. Not too good, can kind of reflect in the windshield. It also has gray trim here on the sides of the detector. In terms of the display, sorry, I know it's a little bit reflective here on screen, so make sure I point it like this when I remember. But you can see we've got a display right there, pretty high resolution LED display. Tells us our GPS speed, time. We've got it set up in highway mode, so you can see that H. When we get an alert, it'll also show us the frequency of the signal. So you can see that was a 34.7 alert, so therefore it came from a stalker gun, which is indeed the case. So pretty handy there. The other detectors don't actually offer you a frequency display, whereas this one does, so I really like that. You'll notice the frequency display also only goes out to 2 decimal places, not 3 like some of the other detectors, but having that frequency display is really, really useful in practice. We've got a couple buttons here on the front. This one is actually going to let us mute our signal. It can also change the brightness of the display. So we'll go ahead and do that. What's it doing? Press and hold it? Oh, press and hold. Okay. So
dark.
So dark makes it really dark. I know it looks almost turned off, but you can see it's still barely there. It's not totally off, but it's really, really dim. So press and hold.
Bright.
And then we can go to full brightness like that. We do have our button right here to mute our signals, which also then will do double duty with locking out alerts. And the way that works, when we get a K-band alert like this, we can mute by pressing it once like that. If we want, we can actually press this button again, and it'll then unmute, which is pretty handy. So if you want to actually unmute a signal, you do have that option. Not all detectors do that. Some of the lower tier Unidens, for example, they don't do that, but this one has the ability to unmute there. Now, the way GPS lockouts work is you actually press this button repeatedly. So when we get a K-band alert,
mute memory.
There we go. If we press it twice like that, you'll see now underneath the frequency display, it may be kind of hard to read, but it says mute memory. So basically what happens is it's now stored this frequency signal in this location where I'm at now, so that in the future, if I see that exact same signal again, it says mute memory. I've seen this same signal in the same location, and I'm going to automatically lock out that signal for you. So now it will still visually display it, but it will not give you the audio alert. So you do have GPS lockouts built in right there. The implementation here is simpler. and not quite as good as what you've got with some of the Escort products. But again, I'll cover all that in the more comprehensive video. This is just to show you that the feature here it exists, and just kind of give you an idea. So if we want, we can go ahead and
Delete mute memory. Mute memory deleted.
we can delete the lockout if we want like that. And then you'll see the mute memory actually goes away, and now it returns back to normal. No alert right now because it's been muted. I'm sure the next time I see it, it'll alert normally. So there's your GPS lockouts. You also have the ability right here with the mark button to mark a certain location.
User mark logged.
So that when you pass this location in the future, it'll give you a heads up. So it's kind of the, if you pass by, let's say, a school zone, or you just want an alert where maybe there's commonly speed traps, you can mark a location so that your detector will automatically warn you every time you pass that location.
User mark deleted.
So you've got that option there. Personally, I never use that feature. I don't find it particularly helpful, but for those of you guys who do, that feature is available. So we've got our display there. Those 5 dots on the bottom are going to be our signal strength meter.
KA band.
So you can see it's what? 2 out of 5 is the signal strength right now. So you see the 2 dots right there. So there's your signal strength meter. Now, as far as the different features that are available on the detector, the way that works is we've got a couple buttons here on top which let us access the menus. We've got our volume buttons right here, anywhere from 0 through 6. 6 is surprisingly loud. 0, go ahead and quiet things down for you. So let's go ahead and go into the menu now and just run through the different features and options that are available in the menu of this detector.
Menu.
So make sure you guys can see. All right, so GPS, we can turn our GPS on and off. Our speed cameras, we can turn our speed camera alerts on and off. Same thing with our red light cameras.
Red light camera alarm off. Red light camera alarm on.
You've got that option there. You can turn your voice alerts on and off if you wanted to tell you KA band or not.
Voice off. Voice on.
Okay. You can turn your individual bands on and off, X, K, KA, and laser. So if you want to turn any of those off, you have the option here. Pop detection, you can turn it on and off. Your K-band filter, you can of course adjust this on and off as well. Scanning dot, if you want, you can have it do the little Knight Rider blinking dot, which goes back and forth across the screen. I prefer running with that off, both for kind of the annoyance factor. I like it kind of quiet and subdued. Instead of that scanning dot, you can also have it display a couple things on the screen, such as, well, timed out.
GPS error.
Okay, it says GPS error a lot, even though it still has a GPS lock. Almost every time when it exits the menu, it says GPS error. That's kind of weird, but
Menu.
anyways, let's go back to where we were. Okay, so you can have it display a couple different things on screen via the GPS, such as your vehicle speed, which is what I find most helpful. You can have it display your direction of travel, the compass,
Voltage meter.
the voltage, your vehicle,
Altimeter.
and your altitude right there. So you've got that option there, which I thought was kind of cool. Not really all that useful in practice, but kind of nice to have it when you need it if you're going through the mountains and you're kind of curious.
Speed.
You tell how high you are. But yeah, so speed is probably the most practical. You can have it display miles per hour or
Kilometer per hour.
kilometers per hour.
Mile per hour.
I'm here in the States, so I run miles per hour. You have auto mute functionality. You can turn your backlight on and off for these buttons down here.
Backlight off.
It's probably not going to show up too well because it's daytime here,
Backlight on.
but you can tell a little bit. These lights down here will turn on and off.
Backlight.
Quiet ride, basically using the GPS unit of the detector, and you can set a certain speed. So if you're traveling below this speed, it'll automatically mute your signals for you. It's called the quiet ride feature. Escort products, they call it cruise alert. In the V1, they call it Savvy or Savvy emulation. K40, they also call it quiet ride. So this feature is available in a bunch of other detectors, and it's available here as well. It's called quiet ride. You can have it alert you if you're traveling over a certain preset speed, just to give you a warning. With the GPS, you can actually change what time zone you want the time to be displayed in. And you can also change whether or not daylight savings time is active. It doesn't automatically switch back and forth. You do have to go over here every 6 months and change it. Battery warning on and off if your voltage gets too low. Battery saver, if you're running it, for example, like you've got it hardwired and it doesn't turn off with your car, you can have the detector automatically turn off if your power gets too low, so it doesn't actually drain your battery and kill your battery. One thing I do like about the menus is I can go back and forth like this between the different options. So if I go too far and I miss an option, I don't have to cycle all the way through the menus like I do with some of the other detectors. So I like that. Self-test.
Self-test on.
We'll turn that on, and you'll get to see during the initial boot up process, this is going to be the more verbose version. I'll show you what that's like. And then factory defaults, and you can clear all of your GPS lockouts right here if you so desire. Okay. Firmware version 1.35 is the current firmware version. I believe the original one that it came shipped with was 1.21. You can update it from your computer. And here is the red light camera database back from October of 2014. It's currently June of 2015. There hasn't been an update yet. Hopefully there will be, because it's not very accurate, the red light camera alerts. But
Exit.
yeah, there you go. There's a look
GPS error.
running through the menus of the LRD950. And go ahead and show you the boot up process now. So the way that works is press the power button there. Okay. And we'll go ahead and power it back on.
Uniden. X-band. K-band. Ka-band. Laser.
So there's the boot up process with the self-test on, so you can hear all the different frequencies and bands. Go ahead and do it one more time.
Uniden. X-band. K-band. Ka-band. Laser.
For the sake of keeping things quiet, I prefer having that feature off. So we'll go backwards here. It's right there.
Self-test off.
And there we go. And then we'll just go ahead and do this one more time.
Uniden.
Here's the normal boot up. And it just says Uniden and then goes right into here. And then
Ka-band.
alerts right off the bat. So the boot up process is nice and quick as well here with this unit, which I do like. So yeah, oh, one other thing was kind of cool. We've got the anti-laser laser tester here. Basically simulates a whole bunch of different LiDAR guns. And one thing that I found is it's surprisingly capable as far as the different guns that it alerts to. For example, we've got the Dragon Eye Compact, number 9. So go ahead and boot this guy up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Laser.
Where's the mute button?
Mute on.
Go ahead and mute that signal. So yeah, it actually alerts to the pulse pattern that was recorded and plays back here in that Dragon Eye Compact tester. So pretty cool. Looks like done a good job as far as getting it to alert to that. So yeah, anyways, that's a quick overview as far as the unit itself. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a more comprehensive video a little bit later on once I get everything put together, kind of giving you a review of the features and how well the guy performs, how he compares to the competition, how well the red light camera alerts, the laser sensitivity, the radar detection, how well the lockouts work. There are kind of some little catches and nuances with it. It's not quite as good as some of the other options, but the fact that it has it available in the first place is actually pretty fantastic. So anyways, this seems to be a pretty capable unit, and at the price point at around $200, it's really an interesting one to consider. So anyways, that's a look at the Uniden LRD950. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention, kind of out of order, but whatever. This guy actually does ship in a box, unlike the other detectors, which come in a blister kit. Blister pack. It actually also comes with a hard case like this, a travel case. So if you want, you can actually, unzip it, open it up, move it around with you, whereas the other ones don't. So a little bit nicer than the competition just because of that. Not the competition, but the other Uniden product. So again, this is their
GPS connected.
Their what's it called? Their top of the line model. Again, retails for about $400. You can find it online for about $200. You can find them on Amazon now or bestradardetectors.net. Good pricing there. And they were the ones who actually sent me these detectors for review and test purposes. So I'll post links to where you guys can find these detectors online. So anyways, there you go. There's a look at the Uniden LRD950. I guess one last thing. How does it compare to some of the other options like the 750 and the 450? I would anticipate that its performance is going to be better than the other ones because it does have a low noise amplifier. We've looked at the internals, the circuitry, the guts of it online, and it looks like this guy does actually have a low noise amplifier to boost weak signals and give you better sensitivity and therefore range. So I'm anticipating that the performance is going to be better than what we're seeing here with these two guys, but we got these two guys to find out because he's doing quite well. I'm really curious to see how the other Unidens perform as well. Oh yeah, other features. What else? GPS, probably one of the main things. So you get the GPS lockouts, you get the red light cameras, you got the speed camera alerts. Most likely, I'm guessing, better performance, but we're gonna have to find out for sure. That's what I'll be doing over the next couple weeks. The display here is a little bit better. You also do get a frequency display, whereas you don't with the other Uniden detectors. I like the fact that it offers an RJ11 port here to give you, just kind of the more traditional plug there. You do have the audio out cable for those of you guys who need that, or the port. You also do have a USB port for firmware updates, which I always really like to see on radar detectors to fix bugs, add new features, and just improve things over time. So really handy there. So does seem to be a pretty nice unit so far. And there's a look at this detector here. Got your windshield mount here with black suction cups. So there you go. There's a look at the Uniden LRD950. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.